Well, the scary and short answer is there's no way to tell for sure, but the answer is probably not.
Oh, great.
It is very expensive, very time consuming to apply this termite barrier. If somebody does it to a house that's already built, and say it's an average size brick home that's 1,800 square feet for the part that touches the ground, you're looking about at spending probably 20 man hours of labor to treat that house correctly, drilling hundreds of holes and applying hundreds of gallons of chemical. And that treatment that I just described should probably cost $1,500 to $2,000. Oftentimes you'll see people have been sold a termite protection treatment and they've paid $300, $400, $600, and you can go out and do the math, look at the label, see how much they should have used, and they couldn't buy the chemical and pay the guy to drive to the house for the amount of money they charge for a treatment.
Yeah, some sobering thoughts and statistics and even video tonight. Going to be an interesting show. We're talking termites. Would love to hear from you. You can call, text, email. Also find out and chat with the firm of Hollis Wright at Facebook if you search the term Hollis Wright. And Twitter, they are at Hollis_Wright. Stay tuned. More termite fun ahead right here on The Attorneys.
I'm Josh Wright with the law firm of Hollis Wright, and thanks for watching The Attorneys on Alabama's 13. Now, we hope you, a friend, or a loved one never need legal counsel for a case. But if you do, the goal of the show is simple. Provide answers and legal counsel when you need it the most. Now, your call to the show is free, so if you have questions specific to this show or related to other civil legal matters, call, email, or text us to talk with one of our lawyers. You can also follow us on Facebook or Twitter to learn about important legal news that could affect you or your family, or simply contact us by going to alabamas13.com and click on the Attorneys link. Now, we know your time is valuable, so thank you for spending it with us and for watching The Attorneys right here on Alabama's 13.
Things you need to know. We were talking about termites and how to protect probably the biggest investment you will make, and that is your home. Welcome back in to The Attorneys. As we come back from break, want to remind you, would love to hear from you. You can call, text, email, join in on our conversation all about termites tonight.
That's right, David. And just to remind our viewers, if you call in, we've got live attorneys ready to answer the calls. We do take the calls live. If you can't get on the air, we've got 2 lawyers standing by to take calls, and we'll get you in touch with who can help you. If it's about this topic, we're definitely going to get you in touch with Tom. And I got a question for Tom before we pick up one of the other ones, but I've had inspectors come out to my house. I don't know what they should be bringing. I don't know what they should be doing. Help us understand, like, what kind of tools should they have? What should we be watching for them to do? I mean, what should a typical inspection look like?
Well, if your inspector shows up and he's got starched jeans and a otherwise neat and clean appearance, you're probably in trouble. Because they need to spend about an hour at an average size house, not talking about Alabama or Auburn football, but actually probing and sounding wood with tools like this pry bar or a screwdriver or something like that, looking for telltale signs of hollowed out wood, going all the way to the attic in your home, carefully going through your basement, and if you have a drop ceiling, lifting up those tiles and tapping the sill plates on top of the foundation, trying to hear hollowed out wood or trying to see really tiny signs of dirt or mud that a termite colony may have brought up into the house. If they're going into the crawl space, if you've got a crawl space home, they should have a crawl suit to put on, and they should go in there after they inspect the inside of your house, and you should hear them down there for a long time tapping and banging on wood under your house to try to find hollow sounding wood. And it should take a substantial amount of time. People are going to say, the termite guy comes, he walks around the outside of my house, chats me up, leaves me a bill. tells me how wonderful and beautiful my house is, and he's gone. You've been defrauded when that happens, unfortunately, because what you're paying them for each year is for that careful inspection. If they show up and they're spraying chemicals outside your house and giving you the impression that that's a booster treatment on an annual basis for termites, you're in real trouble, because that is not a treatment for termites. It's either just spraying water or just a weak bug spray to kill spiders and ants. That's a problem in the viewing area for this station. There's some companies in some parts of this viewing area that make people think that you're getting an annual treatment for termites, and you're not. They're doing that spray around your house to cover up the fact they're skipping an inspection.
Just to follow up, is this something I can do myself? I mean, I think I'm being educated as much as our viewers, but is this something I can treat myself? You know, you're saying don't spray outside. Can I walk into Lowe's and buy something and do this myself, or do I really need to get a company that knows what they're doing?
No, you need a professional to do this. There's some chemicals that you can get in Home Depot or Lowe's that say they kill termites, but what you're doing is you're not trying to kill termites you can see. What you're trying to do is to put a chemical barrier under and around the foundation of your home that termites are going to have to go through. Termites are called subterranean termites because they live in the ground like an ant colony, and they need the moisture and the protection of the ground. So the theory is you put a chemical barrier in the soil, they have to go through it to get to your house, and there's going to be poison there if the treatment's done correctly. I wouldn't recommend doing that for yourself. It would cost thousands of dollars to buy the correct equipment. But don't try to do it yourself. And even doing the inspection yourself is a reasonably intelligent person with a good aptitude for mechanics could teach themselves how to do that. But it would take a day or two, and you just can't train yourself to do every professional trade that you need in a lifetime.
Yeah. A question we've got here. My termite company denied paying for repair to my home. How do I know if I have a case?
You probably do. You need to start from the assumption that you have a case. And the reason for that is if the company had properly applied and then maintained that barrier I've talked about in the soil, your home shouldn't have termites in the absence of some sort of negligent act in most situations. And so you need to have professionals that know how to look over their shoulder, to look at the company's records, and to inspect your house to determine what is the cause of that happening. Think of it in terms of the vaccine I did earlier. If your child gets diphtheria, it's a result of 3 causes. You didn't get your child vaccinated with the diptet, your doctor provided a fake diptet vaccine, or they were provided a defective diptet vaccine. Those are basically the same reasons you've got termites. You didn't get a treatment, you paid for a treatment and they didn't provide it, or you paid for a treatment and they provided a defective one, or the chemical that they used wore off.
Okay. What cases do you have that, or have you had, related to termite companies?
We've had tons of cases, some of them where there's only a slight amount of damage in the home, to cases where houses have had to be torn down. We've also had some mass action cases where we've joined together a lot of homeowners where their basic claim is we've paid for the initial treatment, we've paid annual premiums for 10, 20, 30 years, and we've never gotten the service that we've paid for. We haven't torn open our walls to find hidden termite damage. The experts say that there should be hidden damage in our walls. But those are cases too where the house has a diminished value because it has probable hidden damage inside of the walls because the treatment hasn't been provided. And we've handled cases like that from, South Georgia to California.
Right. Yeah. If you are just a homeowner watching the show tonight, are there some telltale signs that can tell me if I have a termite problem?